So this is Totally Detailed. I am Richard and Adam is my co-host. Say hello, Adam.
Hello, Richard. Hello, everyone. Just before we get started tonight, I just want to jump in there and congratulate Richard because he's finally done his IDA written test. So congratulations, Richard.
Yeah, done that, yeah.
This is when we have to press the crowd button and get a big roll.
I can't remember which one it is, so I ain't going to take the chance. So I'm not sure which one it is. I do have a clapper button here somewhere. That's not it. That's a do. So no, I can't find it. So we'll quit that one.
We'll leave it as that. Just congratulations, though, Richard. So
yeah, well,
it's the first step of going all the way up to trainer, which we hopefully will get you to one day, eh?
Hopefully one day we'll get up to that stage. So, but yeah, happy and disappointed at the same time. One of them I had to do 3 times, but hey ho, there you go. And then of all the things to fail on, one of them, I think the leather one, I didn't get all the questions right. Oh. And now that really has mystified me. That's really mystified me. So, but anyway, ask for the questions, but it's like flat no, you're not having the wrong one. So, okay, fair enough. I understand. So anyway, today we have got Daryl Lyons, all the way from the USA at Lexington, Kentucky, from Detail Lex. So, hello, Daryl. How are you doing?
Good. How are you all?
Yeah, we're all grand. And yourself?
It's Friday afternoon, and I got 3 more hours, and we're done for the day. So
also Southern Detailers Conference. That's getting pretty close, isn't it? So, I mean, we want to come. So, obviously, COVID, we can't, which is a big bummer. But hey ho, next year we're definitely going to be there.
I hate that because I really wanted you all here, and I know how bad you wanted to come, but I do understand with COVID guidelines. We'll see you next year, I promise.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, we'll be there. So, I mean, obviously we're doing SEMA as well, but I know you're not going there, but we're definitely doing SEMA. So it's going to be good. It's first time at SEMA for us for a stand and going anyway. So it's going to be a very big learning experience for us, I think.
Good. Very good.
Chris West is helping us enormously, which is, a great help. So, which is good.
Good. Chris is a good one. He's the rebel. He's the rebel.
He's an amazing guy. Yeah.
That's the godfather of the industry right there, Chris West.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's amazing as Chris. He's helped us so much. It's unbelievable. I've never known a man help somebody so much that I've only ever met, his daughter, and it's, Ashley, and it's just like, I've never met Chris. We've only sort of talked to each other on the phone very regular, and that's all we've done. And it's just, the man is just an absolute legend. You've got to love him because he's just helped so enormously. It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah. You're meeting a rock star with him. The glasses, the hand.
Yeah, the
head. Shake his hand. You know that you're shaking hands with a legend. I mean, just those hands have been everywhere, and he's an awesome guy. He's very awesome.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. So I mean, he's an amazing guy, definitely. So, open questions, Adam.
Yeah, so we'd like to kick things off just to learn a little bit about our guests, and we'd like to open that with: how did you start in the industry?
Well, when I was 16, being from Eastern Kentucky, we would always get our cars cleaned up to go cruising the shopping center downtown. And I was always a fanatic. I was an Armor All and a mother's freak back in the day. But that's kind of where I started. As I got older, I got into the sports cars, had a couple of sports cars as I went in. And a couple older gentlemen started kind of educating me on things and showing me some stuff. And then I think I found Mr. Mike Phillips on YouTube, and I blame him for everything that you see today. So he's the one that pushed me into all this, and he's a huge mentor for a lot of people in the industry.
Yeah.
I mean,
no doubt.
Getting to watch his videos and watch what he does is just it's amazing. I mean, that's where I started from. But I've always loved cars. Always loved cars. To me, there's no more gratification than taking something that's extremely dirty and making it look brand new. So I love that. I love that.
Yeah. So you're like the dirty ones.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. So obviously, how long have you been in the industry?
I'm going to say a little over 20 years. I started out with Extreme Car Care probably about 15 years ago, and I went off and on with that as I got in more into the car detailing. Now, Detail Lex, I started here almost 6 years ago with a gentleman that owned the company at the time, and I've since bought the company from him. So I've had it now for going on 4 years. It's been my company, and it's 2019 was the best year for Big D and Detail Lex. We won the Detail Shop of the Year for the IDA. We won Mr. Glass Parency. We won all the local awards in Kentucky that year. So everything is, since 2018, it's been crazy, especially for 2021 or 20 with COVID. But yeah, I've been doing this a little over 20 years.
Excellent. Wicked.
What's like ramped up in the last few years then? Why is the success gone through the roof?
You know, my degree is in marketing from Ohio State, and I'm a marketing person, and I'm also a community person. I love getting the community involved. We give back to the women's retreat, the women's abuse. We take care of a couple of shelters here that have kids that have been abandoned for abuse or what have you. We take care of the AIDS volunteers of Lexington. We do a lot with the fire department, the police department. I'm a firm believer, you give the community gives back. I've always done that. I just, it's just a thing about taking care of those that take care of you. And that's what I look at that. I have 2 shops. I have one that's in Frankfort, which is about 20 minutes from my big shop here in Lexington. Chris Williams runs that one, and there's 5 employees there. And then my big shop here in Lexington, it's about 25,000 square feet, and I've got 20 employees here.
Wow, fantastic. Was that 20? Sorry.
It's like having 20 children, Adam. No. I have 20 teenagers out there everywhere. So no, they're my kids. They're really good. They're very good.
I've got 1, and that's bad enough at times.
Oh, I'll send you 25 of them tomorrow. Easy.
I think there's a friend of mine, he said to me, an old Chinese proverb, when a Chinese man doesn't like you or a Chinese woman, they always wish you great employment. The more people you employ, the more problems you have.
I have a wonderful staff. I've got 8 certified DFLs through the IDA, and I'm getting ready to have another 7 at the end of June. So I love my staff. I got some new guys that are just about 3 weeks in that are still learning. But my staff is, I love my staff.
Yeah, same here. We wouldn't be where we are without our staff today, to be quite honest. It's, the staff that we've got now, they are without a doubt the best staff you can possibly have. And it's without them, we wouldn't be where we are. It's as simple as that. It's same with any business. You wouldn't be where any business is without staff.
Exactly. When I accepted the award for Detail Shop of the Year, I didn't accept it for myself.
Yep.
I said, this is for my staff. I'm not out there working. I run the company. I decided about 2.5 years ago that I needed to run the company to get it where I want it to be. And that was hard, turning over my company to my GMs and my managers and letting them do that. And, I have an office manager, which went my personal assistant, and I have Vicky, that's my CFO. Then I have 2 general managers, and I have 4 managers that are on the floor at all times.
It is difficult. It is almost like letting your kid go, letting somebody else sort of almost take your company over and run it. It's very, very difficult. I mean, I remember the first time I ever actually employed somebody in our company, it was like, they were like, Richard, bugger off, go away and leave me alone. And it's like,
I got that.
Make sure you're doing this right.
I would call every hour. They're like, quit calling, boss. I'm like, I'm just checking.
I know, that's what we're like. And it's like, just stop inboxing me. Leave me alone. I want to get on.
That's what I got. I think I eventually got put on like hold or whatever. They didn't take my calls anymore. So it worked out.
Brilliant. Excellent.
With all your staff, how much detailing do you actually still do?
Myself, you know what? I go on the floor about every hour because we do 10 and 12 cars a day. That doesn't include paint correction and ceramics. So I'm always on the floor. I mean, even if you just seen me about an hour ago, I was out there helping them wash a couple of cars because the boys were at lunch. And I'm old, I'm fat, and I was hot, and it's like 87 degrees here today. So I always go on the floor with them. That's the fun part for me, is teaching some of the new guys stuff, working with them how to clean seats and what they're doing for wheels and windows, because everybody hates windows. So, I think I did a little paint correction a week or so ago with one of the boys. We had a car in here. It just wasn't coming out the way they wanted it, and that's fun for me. That's like the dad taking his son and saying, "Here, let me show you how to do this." And I enjoy that. I do enjoy that. But now I don't go on the floor much and work. I run the company, not only just the 2 shops, but of course that's taking 90% of my time right now. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I can't wait to see all the exposure, on the day and afterwards at, Southern Detailers Conference. It's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be good. Some good people going, a lot of good names going, so it's looking good. definitely.
Yeah, I think this conference is going to be like no other conference in the detailing world so far. I mean, I'd love to know more. I've done a little bit of research on it myself, and this training that you're putting on just it sounds fantastic. I can't believe in one the price that you're putting out as well.
Yeah, you know, when I got back from SEMA in 19, you know, bringing up Mike Phillips, you don't get to talk to him very long. If you've been to SEMA, there's always somebody waiting to talk to you, wanting to, you know, pick his brain, get an autograph, get a picture with him. And every time I left, I just felt like I was missing something. I wanted something more. I wanted to play. You know, I wanted to touch a product. I wanted to touch a buffer. I wanted to see how this responded and why it did what it did. And I didn't think there was any better way to do that than having, you know, the legend Mike Phillips out there and go, why is this compound doing this? What's the difference between this and this pad? And I came home in 2019, and Justin Lobato was my mentor at the time. And I just asked him, I said, I got this idea. What do you think? And we did it at my big shop here, and I had 13 of my main vendors come. And we had I think we had about 135, 140 people show up. And every hour we blew a horn, and they just went around. And, you know, speaking of Chris West with Rich, Chris West sat back with his feet up on the desk like he was a grandpa telling stories. And I think my whole entire crew stayed with him the whole day just because they wanted to hear stories from him. But, you know, it ended, and it was wonderful. And everybody reached out and said, I think you're onto something, but we need something bigger. And last year we were 45 days out from SDC 2020, and COVID hit. And, you know, I said yesterday with the guys from Zenware, I believe it happened for a reason. You know, I don't ever question what the reason behind it, but this happened for a reason, and it was a good reason. I mean, we're in a brand new convention center. I can't wait till people see this, what it is. But every top major manufacturing in the industry is here. And I've worked really hard to make sure that this is fun for everybody, from awards to, you know, I've got a DJ going to be there Saturday morning getting the party started for everybody, because I want everybody to be a little pumped up and ready to go. But this is the first time it's ever been on the East Coast, something like this. You know, I went to MTE for 2 years, and it's fun. It's a lot of PDR, and we all know that. Mm-hmm. But there's never been anything like this in the industry that's fully dedicated to detailers that you're actually going to get hands-on training. I mean, you get to work an hour with the guys from PNS, the guy from IGL, Buff and Shine, Auto Geek. You get to work with these guys one-on-one, and you're going to get that knowledge that you don't get anywhere else. And that's the whole reason I did this. I set it up for what I wanted when I went to SEMA. You know, what I want to do. We even set up a center stage where it's a Q&A where Mike Phillips is going to go up on center stage, and you get to ask him questions. You know, you get to ask him personal questions. If you've ever heard the story about how he lost his leg, it's an amazing story. But I want you to get to know him. I want you to get to know Keith Duplessis, Justin, Marcus, Ray Duran. All these guys are from the industry. You know, DJ Patterson, the president of the IDA. He's wonderful to talk to. He's so much fun. But I just tried to make sure we covered everything in this. I'm hoping that everybody walks away from this and says, wow, that was amazing. I can't wait till next year.
Yeah, I'm sure they are going to. I mean, just for people who are aware, just go through your pricing for this event, because I think this is absolutely phenomenal.
To get in and all that? Hang on. I gotta make sure I have it in front of me.
Put you on the spot, sorry.
Yeah, if you can see my desk right now, I've got.
I can imagine.
My lunch is still sitting here that I haven't touched since 12 o'clock because I've been so busy. Let's see here. You know, we base pricing off of what SEMA and MTE did. We went a little bit cheaper for the fact of I don't want any detailer to ever feel like they can't afford to come to SEMA. And that's kind of why we did this. But booths were $1,500 for a 12x12. That included your drapes, your electric, and all that. We did have sponsorships offered out. Of course, Pro Products is our diamond sponsor this year, so they're the main sponsor for us. And then we had Auto Geek, Road FS, Mobile Tech RX, Buff and Shine, Glass Parency, Don Franklin, which is a local car dealership for us. Detail Bookie, Auto Fiber, SP3, PNS, Your Able, and Lake Country Power Tools. Those were our main sponsors for this year.
That's awesome.
But general admission is $10. It's open to the public, and
That's
this
crazy.
is a selling event. So you can come in and actually buy a bottle of compound. You can buy some tire shine. You can buy some wheel cleaner, leather cleaner, whatever you want. You can buy it at this show. I didn't want you to have to walk. When you're at one of these shows, especially SEMA, I have 100 business cards when I leave. And I'm sitting there going, what did I want from that guy? I don't remember what I wanted. And I did that all the time. So we wanted it to be affordable. We wanted it to be fun. So we want to be able to buy products. VIP, and by the way, tickets are still open. We opened them back up yesterday because the convention center gave us a little bit of lead time on what head count they had to have. But VIP Gold with up to 10 classes was $150. VIP Gold with a swag bag and dinner Saturday night was $225. Dinner tickets are $80. And I can tell you this, the dinner party on Saturday night with us is amazing. 2 years ago, I had every vendor stand up and say something about the industry. People were laughing, some people were crying. I got emotional in it because I got to hear some people tell stories I didn't know. I've never heard about them. But dinner Saturday night is sponsored by Detail Bookie. They're the sponsor for Saturday night, and we're very honored to have them. The cool part about Saturday night is we get to do the IDA awards because they didn't get to give out their awards in February because of COVID.
Yep.
So having got to walk on stage and receive that award, that's something you'll never forget. I mean, I had a standing ovation of 400 people in a room, and I don't want anybody to never feel that. So the IDA is going to do a little representation of their awards, and then we're going to give out the STC awards this year too. We wanted it to be fun. That was the main thing. We wanted this event to be fun. We wanted to include people, make people have a good time. These awards are just for fun, but that's what we're doing with those. But yeah, Adam, where else can you go for $225 and train with 10 of the best detailers in the industry? I mean, the manufacturers that we have coming, I want it to be affordable. You know, if you've ever been to SEMA, I've spent $5,000 a week just on airfare, hotels. Yep. It's $5,000.
Yep. Exactly.
There's detailers in West Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky. You know, some of these guys are one-man shows. They can't afford to leave their shop for a week and go out there. So this is one reason I did this, was so they get to come and see what they're missing at SEMA, get to talk to Rich, get to talk to all these detailers. That's the main reason behind this. But I also want people to leave knowing they learned something. That's my main goal for this, is I want you to learn something.
Yeah, it'll be good. I mean, it's like, as you say, with the, you know, with MTE, with the, where everybody was standing up and applauding everybody. I mean, because I was there, and obviously it's like when Rennie Doyle came up and, you know, and that was talking on stage with the awards and stuff and yourself and all that. It was actually, there was one or two moments where I think there was quite a lot of people were quite emotional with it. And it was, you all sort of got involved with that and you felt that emotion with everybody.
I cried.
I had tears in my eyes. It was actually, you know, and I'd never met Rennie before in my life, other than, and yourself, other than sort of seeing people on videos and things. But you felt that emotion and you got really involved in that, and that what you're going to be doing there with, you know, SDC is going to be absolutely phenomenal, and that to me is brilliant.
Oh, go ahead. I'll tell you right now, at 2:51 p.m. East Coast, I'm going to cry over the weekend. Yeah. I guarantee it. Yeah. I'll probably cry when it starts. I'll probably cry during the awards. And I'll probably cry when it ends because I'll be happy because it's over.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a very emotional. This to me is it's very important to me. As I said yesterday, it's not about me. I'm producing this with Vicky, my CFO, Clint Hintz from Buff and Shine, and Bob Myers from Pro Products. Those are my main co-producers with this, and it's about the industry. You know, you just brought up Rennie. I trained with Rennie 2 years ago, and I said it yesterday too. You know, he asked you, you know, how are you changing the industry? What are you doing for the industry? And I took that to heart. I really did. I took that to heart. You know, a lot of people like us. I've done. This is my 9th podcast, so I don't want to sound like I'm repeating. But for all my friends over in the United Kingdom, I want you to get to hear what you didn't get to hear yesterday. But this isn't about me. I don't care what anybody says. It's not about me. It's about helping the industry. Yeah. It's about helping this guy that's just getting started, or somebody that's been doing this for a year now, or, you know, Bill Quinn been doing it for probably 30 years, and he's still coming because he wants to learn. He wants to see new product, but it's not about me.
And that's why Adam and I started this as well. I mean, it's about helping other people, and which is what we wanted to do, was to try to get these people, rather than what like a lot of people will do. They're sort of like slate somebody or slag them off because they've got a job wrong, or they've gone through the clear coat on a car. It's about helping these guys, getting them to connect with people like you and Rennie and everybody else in the industry, and and Mike Phillips, and getting all these guys to connect with these professionals so they can get it right, because they could be the next big thing at the end of the day. And that's why Adam and I started this. It's to get people to connect together around the world and to bring the world closer together than what it actually is, even though the world really is quite a small place. It's to make it even smaller, to really bring it together, which is why we wanted to do it. We don't get paid for doing this. We just do this in our free time, and it's.
Well, you care.
Yeah, because we love what we do, and we've I've got a passion for detailing from the days of going to America and being chucked on a stage at the age of 14 by Dean Cruz and shouting, "Here's Little Dick and Big Dick from London, England," in more ways than one. How more embarrassing could that be in front of like 100,000 people at a car auction, and you're made to come up on stage and everybody's applauding me, this little 14-year-old naive boy from England, that's being applauded by all these people walking across the stage, and then being made to stand up on stage and say, "Hello, everybody." It was just so embarrassing. But
I love it, though. That's how you started.
That's how I started. And then I'm chucked a bottle of Maguire's polish and said, "Buff this car. I've never done it before in my life. Buff the car, kid." Okay, I buffed the car. And we just got on with the car. And that's how it all began, and that was only because of connecting to America. And I was very fortunate with the guy that I worked for at the time. And that's what it got me to where I am today.
I've got a lot of high school kids that it's about time for them to call because school's ending, that want to work during the summer because they love cars. We do co-op with them. Even at the SDC, I got a couple of friends that are bringing their 13 and 14-year-olds in. And I've already told both of them, grab a hold of a belt loop. Uncle D's going to show you everything that you can see this weekend.
Yep.
Because that's my next generation. I don't want to do this another 10 years.
Exactly.
I don't.
Yep.
I want to give the keys to whatever and say, "Hey, send me a check."
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Send you the check so you can relax.
It is, and I want the younger generation to get into cars. I want them to know. To me, it's just a big love affair. Yeah. I mean, I got 2 Corvettes out there right now, brand new Lexus, another brand new Lexus SUV. So I love it. I mean, I love cars. That's all there is to that.
Yep, definitely. All right, it's good. Tell us, talk IDA. How many years? Why?
You know what? I didn't hear about the IDA until about probably 2016. And like a lot of people, I was just like, "Oh, okay, it's just a certification, whatever." 2017 was the first time we actually bought in and became a certified detail shop. And then 2.5 years ago, in the end of 18, is when, I don't know if you can see it, but all of my team got certified. Well, the majority of my team got certified. That's priceless.
Yeah.
When a customer walks up, I mean, my windows have logos and stuff on them, but there's a big window on the bottom that says we're certified through the IDA. And I love to explain that to customers. Why should I come to you over going down the street? Well, one is we're certified. That means we've taken tests, we've studied, we went through all this. We know the car from top to bottom, inside out, front to back. And that's no better feeling to me. And I know there's some detailers that don't believe in it and think it's not worth your time, but I totally disagree. I am a huge supporter of the IDA. I love what the IDA does. I think there's things that they're working on right now as we're speaking that they're trying to improve on for membership growth and what they can do to help others. I mean, right now, the Marine certification comes out at my show. They've not launched it yet, but it starts at my show in June. And I love what Cheryl does. Mama Cheryl she's one of the best. And I love what she's done for this industry. I think she's just, to me, the only thing I keep saying is she's amazing.
Yeah.
I think she's brought so much to the industry to help, not just from education, but for bonding. Does that make sense? That brotherhood. The family atmosphere is what I see so much with her. I think she was the first person I hugged as I was going up on stage to get my award. So it's priceless. It's priceless to me what the IDA does. There's so much to it besides just a piece of paper. Bob Myers is my best friend. He's one of the RT trainers. He's certified in everything. But I promise you won't see anybody with a bigger heart that wants to show you the IDA than that man right there, because he loves the IDA and he wants detailers educated. You know, I had a young detailer ask me the other day, is there a study guide for the IDA test? No, there's not. And for the last, I'm gonna say last 8 days, he has messaged me with questions and asking certain things about, you know, detailing. And I love that. I love that. He's wanting to learn, and nothing will make me happier than getting to see him get certified. So I love the IDA. I can preach on that for 2 hours.
Yeah, it certainly is a good organization. I mean, it's something, it's definitely growing here in the UK as well, which is really good. And
yeah, you have a great membership going right now.
Yeah, it's really increasing, doing really well.
Alan, I can't remember Alan's last name.
Medcraft?
Yes. Oh my God. I begged and begged to get him here. Yeah. But he can't with COVID.
Yeah, no, I know exactly. That's the same thing. But the problem we've got with what really sort of stuffs it up for us with COVID is we've got a quarantine coming in and back out. And it's like sort of 12 days quarantine coming in and back out. At one point, we had to quarantine in a hotel for 12 days in America and in England for 12 days in a hotel, which was costing, I think it was £120, which is like at the moment about $170 a night for a hotel. What company can sustain that for 12 days? Because you're not only losing that money for 12 days for the hotel and the food, you're also losing thousands of dollars a day while you're not in business working. And so we just couldn't sustain it. It was just, and that's the biggest, almost like ripping your heart out. It's just, it's a pain in the backside. It really is a pain in the butt.
I've got several friends coming from Canada that are going to have to deal with the same thing. You know, they're coming down, and I know a couple of them are going to be here for a couple months. They're going to try to get their second vaccine while they're here. So I hope that works out. If not, they got to quarantine when they go back. Yeah,
definitely. I know. I'll get my second vaccine tomorrow. So once I've got that, I'm
good for you. Your arm's going to feel numb for like a day and a half.
I was okay. I was okay with the first one. There was nothing. So I'm hoping the second one's going to be the same. But
I hope it is.
Yeah, but on what other people have said, the second one they do end up with a bruise and a bad arm. So yeah, hopefully not.
That was my excuse. I just walked around like,
Excellent. So, what's the next big thing for the business? Where are you going with it?
You know what? I had a plan kind of laid out for 2022. That was one thing that when Justin was mentoring me and helping me, we laid down goals, and that was between opening up another shop, getting certification, going to Rennie's training, doing this. And right now, I'm always looking for the next step, but I'm actually going to try to go from where I'm at now to a newer building and have all of my wheel repair, window tint, dent repair, stereo installation under one roof. That's my goal. I want to have the detailing side here, and I want to have all the car accessory side there, because I have Detail Lex, which is my dent company, and I have wheel repair. And Chris, my manager at Frankfurt, he's in window training right now in Florida. So that's my goal. That's my next move. And then I'm probably going to look by 2022, 23, having a couple more shops throughout Kentucky, just in areas I know I'm getting a lot of customers from. But I'm never going to stop growing. I don't ever want to do that. I want to expand as much as I can.
Yep.
But I also want to help everybody else get to where they are too. I don't have competition, and I don't mean that in an arrogant or condescending way. My competition is in here.
Yeah.
That's my competition.
Yep.
You know, I have a detail shop that's not a mile from me. He waves every day. You know, I've told him anytime I can do something to help you, let me know. I don't deal with competition. I don't worry about competition. I have several detailers that are local that'll come and get pads or come and get compounds, whatever they need. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever want to be that detailer that's not offering to help or, you know, educate you or teach you something you don't know. But I don't have competition. It's just in my head. And this goes constantly. And it's at nighttime, I wake up and send myself an email so I don't what I'm doing. But I'm always looking for something, you know, bigger and better to make Detail Lex something bigger. And again, a lot of that goes back to community stuff. I believe you need to help your community and give your community as much support as you can.
Yeah, definitely. I think when I turn around to the staff or my wife and say, I've got this idea, they all go, oh no, not again. And it's like, no, just hear me out. You got it. This is a real good one. And they're like, shall we sit down? Yeah, take a seat. And
my staff does that. They're all like,
here he goes again.
yes.
Yeah, I have a pad and a pen beside my bed. So when I wake up in the middle of the night, because you'll never remember it, I write it down. Because the worst thing you do is go on your phone. Because the minute you go on your phone, you'll never go back to sleep. So
I know.
I write it down in a pad now, and I have it all written in a pad, and it's quite funny. And I wake up and I'll be talking to my wife, and I'll be like, yeah, last night we were going through and we were doing this. What do you mean we were going through and doing this? Yeah, in my dream, I'm doing all this. And it's like, you really are mad. You know, you're asleep and you're dreaming all this. Yeah. This is what we're going to do. But it's how it begins.
I've went through opening day of the SDC almost every night for the last month in my dream. I mean, I'm just making sure I don't forget something. Did I forget this? Yep. If you could have seen my office yesterday, there was boxes just stacked up from a lot of the swag stuff for, the goodie bags that we're giving away. Yep. The T-shirts all showed up today. The custom T-shirt, the staff T-shirts, the SDC T-shirt showed up. It's just, and it's going to be like this for the next, we got 13 days. Yep. But if you could have just seen my office, that's my mind. Vicky will ask me, why'd you email me at 3:30? I'm like, because I was thinking I didn't want to forget. So that's just me. That's just me.
I always think it's, you're on a good idea when you're waking the missus up to tell her you've had this good idea.
Yeah.
You're on a corkroom when you just can't wait to tell somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just
I get excited over stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm so excited to see my brothers and my sisters that I have not seen in a year and 4 months.
Yep.
I think MTE was the last event that we had in February.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm more excited about seeing my friends and my family. Oscar's one of my best friends, Oscar Hernandez, out in California at 805 Detail. Yep. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I mean, there's so many of my friends coming from all over that, I said yesterday in the podcast, if I've not met you, please come say hi to me. It's going to be the biggest honor for me to get to meet you. And I wish that everybody in the United Kingdom was coming. Rich, I don't think I've never met you, and I would love to meet you.
Yeah, I'd love to meet. Yeah. The only time I think we've sort of passed is when we were obviously at MTE, and that was about it. So
and it was like a hi, how are you type thing. I think I even bragged on your haircut trying to copy me. I think.
Yeah. You would. Yeah, we were copying, so definitely.
But, I'm excited to meet new people. There's people coming that's been messaging me. I can't wait to meet you, D. And I'm like, no, I can't wait to meet you. Yeah. It's an honor for me to get to meet new detailers, legends that have been out here. I mean, Billy Smith out of Akron, Ohio. He's been doing it for I don't know how long. Yeah. And he's nominated for one of the awards for the Rising Star.
Yep.
And he's like, D, I've been doing this for a long time. I said, yeah, but your presence on Facebook and social media has taken a totally different avenue. People are watching you now. Yes. You're getting a lot of these younger detailers that are saying, hey, I like what Billy's doing. I said, so you are a rising star. You may be 40 or 50 years old, but you're this rising star now.
Yep.
That's the fun thing for me is social media. I don't post negative stuff. My staff's not allowed to. I don't believe in that. If they do it, they better have a good reason or I'm going to get in trouble with me in the morning. I don't like the drama. I don't like that. I think it's childish and immature. I've been down that road and I've had my hand smacked many a time by Justin, but I had to learn. And I think there's a lot of young detailers that are learning that. There was a question here. I said, I don't want to jump ahead of you, but it's sticking in my head. And I think it was at your closing question. So I want to jump ahead for a second. So don't kill me, Rich.
No, it's fine.
That's okay.
It is that question when I read down there, that literally brought all emotions back to me. Because I'm stressed out and I'm excited, all this other, but when I read that from you, I just sat there for a second. I'm like, you know what? I haven't thought about that. And my whole answer would be, don't listen to everybody. Don't listen to anybody. It's nice to have advice and it's nice to have that mentor back here. And I've got several, and I would be lost without them. But what I mean by don't listen is follow your heart. It's like taking that leap of faith off that cliff. You have no idea what's going to happen, but think about the reward once you do it.
Yeah.
And that's my big answer to that is I really wish I would have taken steps quicker and faster.
Yep.
But I doubted myself. I was afraid. And that's what I'm meaning by don't listen, just go for it.
Yep.
Go do it.
Yeah.
You know, this right here. You know, I have no idea what's going to happen. I know in my heart it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be fun. I'm going to do everything I can to make it wonderful and fun. But I can tell you this: if 100 people show up, we're going to have the biggest party with 100 people ever in Kentucky.
Yeah.
But I love that question that you asked me, and that's stuck with me the whole time since I got it this morning from you. And it's just, I love it. And I'll let you go into that too. You can ask again, but I just wanted you to know that stuck with me the whole time today.
Yeah, I'll tell you what we'll do before we go into that one. Something you mentioned near the beginning about was it marketing you were involved in?
Yes, I have a degree in marketing.
Obviously, with that sort of side of it, what sort of advice could you give people so far as marketing with their business?
You know, there's so many avenues in marketing. When I came out of Ohio State in '94, I had a pencil and a piece of paper. Now, when you graduate marketing, you got iPads and all this new technology stuff where you can design things and do whatever. Marketing to me is marketing to not just the consumer or the customer, but you know, I tell people when you come into my shop, you become family. I've probably got 100 sets of dads and moms, just because I want you to feel part of the Detail Lex family. I don't ever want you to be just a customer.
Yeah.
You can be a customer anywhere. I love my marketing right now. I'm the main sponsor for the Z-Rock Morning Show here in Lexington. I boost out ads once every other month on Facebook, just to a surrounding about 15,000 people in the radius. And I move that radius every other month. So I'm pulling from different areas. I don't ever want to just saturate like the north end of Kentucky or Lexington. I move it around so I can kind of see what demographics I'm pulling. You know, am I getting the younger? Am I getting the older generation? Marketing for me is the community involvement too. You know, there's nothing better than the Nest is a women's shelter for women that have been abused. We clean their buses.
Yeah.
We do neuroservatives, which is kids that have autism or special needs. We clean those for them. You know, if there's been accidents on buses, we do that. So there's no better advertising for me is when the director of one of these places make a post and say, thank you to Detail Lex for cleaning our bus, for cleaning our cars, for just taking care of us.
Mm-hmm.
Because when that one customer sees a company that helps the community and they see that, I've got another one. I got another one. I got another one coming. And that's the way I look at that. The fire department last night, their 150th anniversary is coming up. They don't include a lot of people in this, but they're including us. We've been the community, we won the community service award within the last 3 years, and we do a lot with the fire department. And marketing doesn't have to just be a commercial for TV or whatever. If you're like me, I record most of the shows I want to watch, and I fast forward through the commercial.
Yeah.
So TV is different. Radio is a great spot for me because you're in your car more than you are anywhere else if you're not at work or if you're not at home. So radio advertising is a great way. I'm not a big television person. I mean, we've got an ad running for the SDC just because I want to generate the local area to come to it.
Yeah.
But, you know, marketing it's all what you put in it. It's your face. I have something I put on my wall that I got probably, I'm going to say 12 years ago from Mike Phillips. And it's 5 steps to being a successful detailer. And it's number 1 is look bigger than you really are. Look professional. Look like you're a franchise. Don't underestimate your business by lowering your prices. Mm-hmm. And have the best attitude.
Yep.
Those 5 things always stick with me.
Yeah.
And if you're just starting out, I mean, we wear shirts that's got our logos on it. We look like we are a franchise, but we look bigger than we are because not just from the cars we do, but it's the whole thing, as I'm saying, with the community, with the friendship we do. You know, we sponsor the Octane and Coffee here, which is like a cars and coffee cruise-in once a month. We do stuff with the kids here, the Children's Hospital. We help donate stuff with them, and we clean cars for them. There's so much in marketing that Rich, you opened the wrong question with there, because again, I can just go on and on about marketing. But if you're just starting out marketing, focus on your community. Focus on the community.
Yep.
Get involved. Find a niche that's going to be something that's rewarding for you, but it's going to know that the community's going to know that you care.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
It's when the community knows you care, they're going to take care of you.
Yep.
And right now, I mean, I'm booked out 2 weeks. You know, knock on wood, I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Anything more than 2 weeks, I start to panic.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but it's, you know, marketing is not necessarily newspaper ads and that kind of thing. There's so much more involved in marketing now with what you can do. And I love the community. I mean, if you notice on my Facebook every now and then, I always say, thank you, Central Kentucky.
Yeah.
They're the ones that do this. You know, there's some detail shops here in Lexington that don't do 4 cars a week.
Yeah.
I do 10 and 12 cars a day.
Yep.
So
that's brilliant.
I
think it's like with a lot of the things, I think we've sort of been naive to this as well, where we've sort of come into the age of Facebook. And I mean, it's not really that old when you sort of look at how old social media really is. It's, you know, it's like I talk to my daughter and I say to her, you know, it's like, you're lucky you've got a mobile phone. When I was a kid, I didn't have one. You didn't have a mobile phone when you were a kid? No, they weren't around. I was actually, to be fair, I was one of the first people in the UK to ever have a mobile phone, but it was huge. It was like some army field thing. It was a huge big box and it weighed, I think it was 9 or 10 kilos. And you used to have to carry this big battery pack, take it off it and put it in the booty, in the trunk of your car, and then take the handset and put it in the front. But I think when I was in the UK, because of the guy that I worked for, they had a lot of property. They used to own 9/10 of London, at Knightsbridge in London. And they built like the gates to Marble Arch and they built the gates to Hyde Park and the Marble Arch in London. And they're very, very famous. And so they had a lot of money. So it was one of those things I was given when they first came out. And to me, it was like, what the hell is this? And it was so fun having this mobile, but people don't realize how new the internet is. And it's like, I think we've been sort of foul to that, where we've just sort of sat and done things on the internet thinking business is going to come to us. Nah, it's just not going to come to you by just opening up a company and thinking that it's going to come to you just because you've got a Facebook page, just because you're posting on Facebook, you're doing this on Twitter or Instagram or whatever you're posting it on. It isn't going to come to you just from doing that. And a lot of people make that mistake. They just think, and I've had it with people where they've come to us for training and they've trained. And then 4 months down the line, they're like, I've had 3 inquiries. Did you tell people you did this? Did you go to your local shops? Did you go to your local car dealers? Did you go to the local furniture shops? Did you do this? Well, no, I had a Facebook page and nobody's contacted me. Who did you tell? Did you advertise it? Well, no, but I've got a Facebook page. Surely they're going to come to me. How do they know you exist?
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't know you exist. And
social media can be the devil.
Yep.
Because, you know, I've had a lot of young detailers I've tried to mentor that, you know, Mike Carlin is, I mentored him and I still mentor him. He just won Detailer of the Year for 98. One of my first rules is, if you're that mad and you get ready to post it on Facebook or social media, put it on there. Yep. Wait an hour and let somebody come back and read it to you.
Yep.
I guarantee you won't post it.
Yeah.
Because once it hits social media and it's something negative, it's going to affect you.
Yep.
It's going to affect you.
Yeah.
And social media, you got to work social media. You have to work social media.
Yeah.
I mean, that's now what it is. You know, you were just talking about the box phone, Rich. I drove the Rolls Royce a couple of weeks ago. It's an 80-something Rolls Royce.
Yep.
And in the center console is that bag phone.
Oh, yeah.
And all of my staff were like,
what is that?
What is that?
With a big curly cord on it. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm like, this is a car phone. They're like, no way. Like, yeah, this is what we had back in the day. So, yes.
That's what
you might have had to stand to the side to make sure you had a stick.
Yeah, that's what you had. Yeah, that
was quite entertaining for the box phone here.
Yep. They were fun things. Definitely.
So talking about like social media, where does most of your high-end ticket business come from? Is it social media? Is it the website? Word of mouth?
90% of my business is word of mouth. 90% of my business is word of mouth. This past Saturday, I was at the Corvette rally, sponsored by the local Corvette club, and there was 4 or 5 Corvettes that we have done. And even right now, I'm got 2 out here that are ready to pick up. But it's word of mouth. It's reputation. It's the quality of work you put out. I mean, and by no means are we perfect. We miss stuff. But I always tell my customers, when you're leaving, if you see something, call me. We'll fix it. You know, don't ever. And nowadays it's so easy to turn to social media at them and just give you a bad review instead of just calling me and saying, "Hey, Daryl, they missed a cup holder. Or, hey, there's something underneath my seat." You know, having 27 employees and 10 and 12 cars, I'm not making excuses for them, but they get busy. They get sidetracked.
Yep.
You know, I tell them all the time, if you're stressing out, step outside, take a 10-minute breather, and then go back in and start. Quit focusing on a stain. Quit focusing on something that you can't get out. Go clear your head and go back. But word of mouth that's everything to me. I mean, we might get 1 or 2 customers a month from the Z-Rock Morning Show, you know, the sponsor. And on a boost, once I boost an ad out, I usually spend about anywhere between $400 to $500 for an ad that'll run for 7 days, and that's going to hit approximately about 15,000 people. I'll probably sell 2 or 3 details or ceramic out of that, but word of mouth is my biggest. And I mean, we probably coat more cars than anybody on the East Coast with ceramic, and I carry 7 different ones. So I do it for price point. It's not for product. I do it for price point.
Yep.
You know, if I got a young kid coming in here in a little Honda, $800, he's getting a 1 year. If I got a gentleman, I've had people bring me cars, a $300,000 Bentley from Miami. He spent $4,500 with me to get his car done. So it's prices, it's word of mouth, it's the quality. You know, on Facebook, I don't really post a lot on Facebook anymore. It's always calling. And Rich will probably tell you that because I post a car weekend. Yep. My friends are like, "Dude, do you have a life?" I'm like, "No." I live in the shop.
Yep.
If I had a bed here, I'd probably stay here.
Yeah, I think we've all been there at times when
I feel like I live here.
Oh, I've slept on I've slept in the factory a few times on the concrete floor. I tell you, when I've been determined to get something done, I've done that quite a few times, literally on a cold concrete floor. But you know, you got to do what you got to do.
If you ever walk in the lobby, I got a big red leather couch up there.
Yep.
And everybody loves that couch. But I also used to have a nightclub back in the day, and that couch was the hottest couch with red leather.
Yeah,
so all the girls, all the guys would always go to that couch to sit.
Couch. Yep.
And I've slept on it. I've slept on it here.
You actually owned a nightclub?
I did. I've owned a nightclub. I've owned a jewelry store. I worked in pediatric critical care for 3 years at the University of Kentucky.
Wow.
When I say UK, people are like, "Oh, you were in the UK?" I'm like, "No, University of Kentucky."
Yeah.
But I worked in critical care. I took care of kids that had either been abused or hurt or really sick. I worked in pediatric endocrinology for 1.5 years. I've bartended. I've traveled. I've been the Hallmark card. I was the regional director for setup for Hallmark cards. But I've always detailed for them. Every weekend I've had a car to detail for somebody to go somewhere. And I finally just said 6 years ago, I'm done. This is my passion. This is where I want to be. So this is where I'm at.
It's not just our hairstyles, it's got similarities then, because I've had a nightclub as well.
See? That's it.
Yeah, I've done all sorts. Had a nightclub and all sorts. I've even been on a farm mucking out pigs. I've done everything, you know, whatever it takes to make money. You know, that's exactly.
I've done that one, Rich.
Oh God, it stinks. Trust me. So,
yeah. I've not done that one. But then again, I've got 20 teenagers out here, so.
Yep. Yeah.
But
yeah, I've had nightclubs, I've had a pub, I've had a restaurant. Yeah, I've done all sorts. So yeah, had mobile phone, cellular phone sales. We've done everything. So,
oh wow, nice, very nice.
And now obviously, like you, looking after the kids, you know, we obviously have a mental health charity. So yeah, it's, you know, which we've started and trying to help the country and, you know, people with mental health problems and, you know, that are either abused or whatever, you know, in bad relationships or just suffering, just purely because of the internet, suffering with it. So it's good similarities. I like it. Brilliant.
I think.
What other questions, Adam?
Sorry, say again.
What other questions do you have? I love you just sitting there like.
I'm one of them. I like listening.
He likes to listen to us, Adam, and he absorbs everything. Yeah,
you can tell you can tell he's into it because he's like me when he's listening. He's like,
yeah, I'm having little light bulbs going off in my mind, and
I know what he's like. He'd be thinking a million questions to ask you.
Ask away.
As soon as we're finished, he'd be like, "We've got to book Daryl in again soon. Trust me."
Well, I was already thinking I'd love to have Daryl back on after.
I would be honored. I would love to.
After SDC, yeah, definitely.
I want to hear all about it. I want to hear how good it was because I know it's going to be absolutely phenomenal.
That'd be wonderful. The week, the next.
We'll let you have a breather. Yeah.
Let me catch my breath out.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny because all next month I've got shows and interviews and stuff going on the whole month, and I've got another podcast next Friday with Detail Bookie, and then of course I've got stuff going on the whole weekend of the SDC. Yeah, I would love to come back. You two are fun, and if this isn't fun, I don't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I've told several people that want to interview me and talk. I'm not that straight, stern answer person. I love to laugh. I love to have fun.
Yep.
I want people to educate. I mean, and Rich, again, I think I passed you at MTE, but I've never really got to sit down and talk to you.
Yeah.
But it's, when you sent me that, I'm like, yeah, I want to do this. Let's do this. What time is it over there? And I think that was my biggest thing was, Rich, what time? What do I got to be? What do I got to do? So,
yeah. That was the biggest question. And I'm thinking, what is the time? Because I know every time when Chris West says to me, he's like, ring me at 10 in the morning. That'll be like your tea time, won't it? Yeah. That'll be like 6 o'clock at night for us. Yeah, I'll bring you.
You know how many times I did this? What time is it in the UK? So I would have Adam would get mad at me like, "Where's Daryl?" I'm like, "I know what time it is. I know what time it is."
Yeah, I know. And I'm sat there trying to work it out. Kentucky's this, and then trying to work it out.
What I did. Yeah. I know Adam said something like 11 something. I'm like, wait a minute, is that 11 o'clock in the afternoon or night? What's he want me to do? So yeah, but this worked out perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
I really hate you're not coming. I know how bad you guys wanted to come, and
they did.
Just know next year it's on. The SDC 3 is already booked. Dates are scheduled. If you're looking for information for it now, you can go to the southerndetailersconference.com.
Yep.
All the information's there. Kind of watch Zenware too. Zenware's going to be doing live remotes throughout the whole weekend, every hour, interviewing manufacturers, interviewing attendees, kind of letting you get to see what's going on. And Rich, I know you're going to love that because
definitely
you'll get to see people
and
just get to hear what they're saying about the conference. And I want people to be honest. If you didn't have a good time, come and tell me.
Exactly.
What wasn't right, tell me. This is the first time we've done it this big, so I'm trying to make sure there's no hiccups or any problems. But I'm excited.
Yeah,
I am.
Yep.
I'm excited.
I'm excited, and I'm not going.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I'm just excited to go.
It's a big honor. It's a big responsibility. I have a committee of 20 people throughout the industry that have been on this committee to help me make sure this goes right. And we've covered everything. One of the big questions was asked, the concession stand, do you want a bar? I went, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want alcohol. I want beer. Yeah, we're going to do that.
Yeah.
I want you to walk around with a beer and have fun.
Yep.
That's what this is about. And we talked about Saturday night. Saturday night to me is the most important part of the weekend. That's the networking. That's where, Adam, I've never met you. I'm going to walk over and sit with you and go, Adam, first of all, I want to hear you talk. So talk to me. So I'm going to listen to that. But I want to know about you. That's the fun part of Saturday night is getting to sit beside somebody that you've never met from Texas, California, Arizona, New York. It's, you put a Texas and a New Yorker together. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. That's fun. Or somebody from Boston, that's the fun part for me. But Saturday night is, to me, that's one of the most important parts is you get to network. You get to meet people and talk to, I've got guys on here that I love dearly that I've never met. And I've been friends with Steve Barlow up in Michigan. I've been helping him for 5 years. I've never met him. But we talk all the time on the phone. He has a question, he calls me. And I can't wait to hug his neck. I cannot wait to hug his neck. I've never met him. And he's in Michigan. Yep. So that's what this is about.
It's a big place, America, though.
Adam, you're coming over next year. That, or I'm coming over to you, and we're going to do it over in the United Kingdom, and we'll just have the SDC UK version.
Hey, that would be cool.
Absolutely.
That would be really cool.
Hey, you think I'm joking? I'll do it.
Yeah.
I think I'll help you do it.
That would be good. Yeah, that would be good. SDC UK. That would be awesome.
I can do it.
Yeah, that would be good. Yep.
Yeah. I think they love my little hillbilly accent over there, wouldn't they?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, they love it.
I could do it. I could do it.
Excellent.
That's one thing I absolutely love about what you've done with the branding with the SDC. One, the logo with the Corvette, because I know it's like where the Corvette was made, and the horseshoe. And am I right as well? You've done the Isles as well as the main bourbons from the area or something?
Yes.
Yeah,
my actual logo is, I wanted something to the reason Detail Lex came about is if you're in Lexington and you Google detailing in Lexington.
It's you.
The marketing thing is the first person pops up is
Yeah.
Detail Lex. The horse, we're known for horse racing with, the Kentucky Derby, Keeneland.
Exactly.
And that's one thing. I can't wait for people that have never been to Kentucky. When you fly into the Lexington airport, there's nothing but miles and white, beautiful picket fences with horses just running. And it's just beautiful. And the other part on there was the Corvette because it's made in Bowling Green, which is about 2 hours away. But the logo, you're right. I wanted to represent Kentucky. I did not want to take away from, we're not really considered South, but we're Southerners here. So I wanted to incorporate Kentucky. Bourbon basketball, I couldn't really get them in there, but it's Rupp Arena, which is one of the most famous basketball college courts ever, is right where we're going to be. But the Corvette is, I've been a Corvette owner and I've got 2 out here right now. We did, but the horseshoe and everything, Adam, you are. You picked up on it. That was the goal. I think the funny part about the SDC, you got MTE, you got SEMA, and I think Justin Lobato was the one that was like, "Oh, the SDC," and I'm like, "I love that." Wait a minute, we have a little initials now, but it's all there. If you can see the shirts, the custom hats and everything we've had done. I was telling the guys yesterday at SEMA, and Rich will tell you, there's always a custom shirt every year that's different for SEMA.
Yep.
As soon as you walk into the gift store, they're gone. You can't get one. They're just like everybody buys them. And I think I have one out of 9 years. So there's a custom SDC shirt that we only made 150 of, just as a custom shirt. And it's got, I don't want to tell you, but just imagine the mask is involved. Okay?
Mask.
Your mask that you're wearing for COVID.
Oh, right. I've got you. Yeah.
And if I remember, I'll pull one out and send you and Rich one because it's
Awesome.
it's definitely Kentucky, but it's also in theme with what we've all been through.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it. That's
I love it. I told my designer, I said, go have fun.
Yep.
But it's got to be something that everybody's going to want. This is like a $50 shirt.
Yep.
But it's a collector's shirt, and we're going to do it every year. And when he sent it to me, I didn't see it at first, but when I did, I was like, I love it. I love it. Look what you did. He goes,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody noticed it, but it's really cool. And it also has a Corvette.
Yeah.
I like stuff like that where you have to look at it twice before you realize everything. And
I didn't see it. And I was looking at it like, oh, I love this design. And, I told him I wanted something that was a little modern with a little bit of graffiti, with a little bit of, Southern flair to it, and, racing in Corvettes. And, oh, man, when I see it, I was like, you got to be kidding. I'm like, I love that. I love it. And it's going to sell quick. I've already got people calling and saying, hey, can I get one? And I'm like, I'll do my best, but I will pull one out for you.
I appreciate it.
We'll keep it quiet.
Perfect. I know it was a bit like when Hera Museum was being sold off after Bill Hera died, and we were over there, which is where I started off. Most of my training was in the Hera Museum in the restoration department. And Clyde Wade, who was the curator running that, obviously for Holiday Inn, who obviously split it all up when they bought it. We bought all the memorabilia in the actual gift shop at the Hera Museum, and I've still got it here in the loft out in my garage at home. I've got hundreds of Hera caps and plastic cups and coffee.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah,
unbelievable stuff. And I just bought the whole lot. And Clyde was like, "Well, it looks like you limeys have just bought my shop. I got to shut it up now." And we're like, "Yeah, we bought it, or just ship it to England." I mean, it's bought all the memorabilia because nobody was going to get it again, and and it was such an iconic museum. And you were never going to get that memorabilia again. And we've still got it here. And I mean, that was like in, what was it, 85, 84, 84, 85. I mean, it was unbelievable. And we still got it all here.
Yeah, I love it. If you can see my office, I got University of Kentucky on this side, University of Ohio State on this side.
Yeah.
Pictures and stuff that people have sent me, gifts I've received. But my office is only so big, so I can't keep everything here.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Absolutely fantastic.
What you got now, Adam? What you got now?
Well, I mean, that really brings us to our closing question, but Daryl's already answered it, really.
But actually, you know what? You can read it.
Yeah, okay, we'll go for it. I'll have to read it off the screen here. But so it's a question that's kind of been brought up in every podcast we've done so far, and we've kind of just tweaked it a little bit, and we're now going to do it on our final question to everyone. So, in a sense, you are the first, but at the same time, you're not. So don't you're not that special. So if you could tell yourself one piece of information when you first started your business that you know now, what would that information be?
And that's, I'm telling you that when I printed that off and read that from Rich earlier, and I think you sent me that, Rich, maybe a couple hours ago, 3 hours ago?
Yeah, 2 or 3 hours ago, yeah.
And everything else, I just kind of wrote down a little bit of things because I know most of it. But man, that question just stuck with me because I haven't thought about that for a long time. And again, it goes back to just go with your heart. Listen to your heart. Go with it. You know, I have advisors and I have mentors. You know, I wouldn't trade anything for what I've had with Justin and Rennie, Mike Phillips, Bill Quinn, Bob Myers, Clint. There's so much knowledge there with those guys that I'll never be able to replace that. Mm-hmm. But in my heart of hearts, follow your gut. Follow your heart. If it's scary, it's good. If you're scared, do it. Just do it. Just do it. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Exactly.
You may have to back up and punt. You may have to back up and figure out a different plan.
Yep.
Listen to your heart. Don't listen to the naysayers. I was told this big shop, we couldn't have 2 shops in Lexington. And up until March, I just closed my other one because I went mobile. I didn't need the other shop. I have this big, massive shop. And we're the Detail Shop of the Year. We're one of the best in Central Kentucky. And again, I was scared. And I was afraid of what was the fear of the unknown takes over.
Yep.
And that's the one thing I would go back and tell Big D 4 or 5 years ago. Do it.
Yep.
Do it. Just go for it.
Yep. That's I'm a great believer in that. You just do it and then work it out after you've said yes. Simple.
And there's so many people that I consider brothers and family and sisters that if I mess up, they're going to reach right down and pick me back up. If I do something wrong, they're going to help me fix it.
Yep.
If I fall, they're going to be right there to help me. And that's the one thing that, and I don't know why, Rich, I'm probably going to email you later because that question is just, I don't know. It just stuck with me. And it's, you know, all the emotions came in. And I'm like, yeah, I might cry over that little message or that little comment because I'm not thinking about that right now.
Yeah.
But then I stop for a second and I'm going, look what I've done.
Yep.
Look what I've done. And I'm very proud of what I've done.
Yeah, exactly.
This.
Yep.
Yeah, you should be proud.
Yeah,
I'm very honored. I'm excited. I can't wait. But that right there was a lot of work.
Yeah. Oh, I know what. Yeah, definitely a lot of work. All right, that's for sure. Yeah.
The time.
Yep.
The phone calls, the communication. You know, and there's so much that went into this that I got to give so much credit to so many people that just kept calling.
Yep.
You know, I'm proud of you. Do this. Do this. Do this. So yes, Adam. Follow your heart.
Yep.
That's Big D's advice for May the 21st. Follow your heart. Don't be afraid. If you are afraid, it's good. It's real good.
Yep.
If you get goosebumps, your stomach gets a little twirly.
It's even better. Yep.
Do it.
Yeah.
Rich will be right there. He'll help you. I'll help you. Yep. That's the greatest part about this industry is 90% of this industry cares.
Yep. Yeah.
That's the greatest part of this industry.
Yeah. I think Adam knows that. Yeah, I mean, Adam knows that. I mean, we're always around. We're there to help. And I mean, I know Adam, if I needed help, and Adam's offered it to me as well in the past. I mean, we are there to help each other. I mean, we're not too far away from each other's shop anyway. You know, and that's the one good thing with it. We're there to help each other. And that's what builds us together. And I mean, that's why we're here as a joint podcast together, you know, and that's what we're doing. You know, that's why we're doing it because we love what we do.
And I commend both of you because you're helping the industry.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Even though you're thousands of miles away, you're still helping the industry.
Yep.
And I applaud you both for that. I think it's wonderful. And Adam, I hope I get to meet you soon.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I am not going to SEMA because I'm going to get to see everything here in 2 weeks. You're going to see in SEMA. So call me and I'll wave at you from there.
Definitely.
The thing is with SEMA, it's quite funny because I'm like a massive car guy like yourself. Love American cars. It's all really into, and I've always wanted to go to SEMA. And then when I heard about MTE, I was like, I don't really want to go to SEMA anymore. I want to go to MTE. Now, all I want to do is go to SDC.
Yep.
So it'd be SEMA by the end of the year.
There's it's 100,000 square feet. And It's
Look
booked.
at that.
Yeah,
It's booked. And all the way, there's 31,000 that'll have 18 cars with classroom settings, and there's a boat. That's going to be the classroom setting. And then on the outside of all this, I've got a bunch of really cool cars going to be on display. So if you're a car freak, you get to walk around, look at cars. You can go over and look at product. You can buy it. So Adam, that makes my day that you want to come to the SDC, because SEMA's a lot. I don't think I've ever walked SEMA completely. 9 years ago, and I don't think I've ever completely walked SEMA. And if I'm not mistaken, a friend of mine did it years ago, and it was 29 miles.
Whoa.
Jesus. That's nearly as bad. That's nearly as bad as the Hershey show. Hershey.
Oh.
That's enormous.
And I mean, it's that Adam, I really appreciate that. You made my day, because I've worked really hard to make this fun and educational and name it. If there's something that we're not doing, I'd love to know what it is.
Yep.
I would love to know what it is, because I've thought of everything. The food, it's all Kentucky-based food. There's fried chicken. You know what a hot brown is, Adam?
Never heard of it.
Google it.
Hot brown.
It's a hot brown. It's a fat man's heaven. Trust me. It's a fat man's heaven. Just Google it, and I guarantee you'll be like, oh, that sounds delicious.
Here's a good one for SDC next year. Training leather. There you go.
You're coming.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
And we offered out for window tint, PDR, but there wasn't enough time to generate a lot of interest in that.
Sure.
And so next year we're going to add more. We're going to add more. And Rich, your class is ready. All you got to do is tell me.
Yeah, cool. I love it.
Adam, did you look it up?
I did, and it looks delicious. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, it's 2 pieces of bread with turkey and ham and 3 different kinds of cheese and bacon on top.
Yep.
It's a Kentucky thing. So.
I just can't wait to come back to have my pancake steaks. They're like this.
That's good.
The wife thinks I'm crazy, because obviously going to America like when I'm a kid, and when I went over in January, I'm like, can I have sausage and strawberries? And she's like, you can't mix meat and fruit. Yeah. Strawberries, ice cream, sausage, bacon, pile it all on onto my pancake stack. And she's like, that's just gross. But no.
Rich, I got to share something funny with you. So one of my really good friends is a translator for the Canadian government.
Yep. And
he's probably the #1 translator. So he translates English to French, national defense, the Queen's speech, the Parliament. I don't know what you all call it, the prime ministers.
Yeah.
Years ago, he'll come in to Kentucky and stay with me. And years ago, I had a phone call. He'd left to go to the gym, and I was getting ready to go to work, and the phone rang. And this lady with a very, kingdom accent, she's like, is Mr. Bastion there? And I'm like, no, he's gone to the gym. She goes, well, this is such and such with the Queen. And I went, I'm like, okay. She's like, well, can you have him call us, please? And I'm like, yeah, okay. I thought it was one of my friends playing a joke on me. He comes back from the gym, and all of a sudden I hear this French accent like getting louder, and I'm like, man, what's wrong with him? He comes downstairs, and he's older than me. He looks at me and goes, phone call? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, that was the Queen of England. And I'm like,
No.
I'm like, for real? He goes, that was her assistant. I have to have her speech done. I believe it was one of the one of the House of Parliament members that got shot out front. They had something going on then, and she was getting ready to give her speech. Well, he needed to translate it, so there was a French and an English version. I'll never forget that as long as I live. So I'm always afraid if I ever get to go to the United Kingdom, the Queen's going to be like,
blacklisted.
I'm here.
I'm like, what am I going to do now? That's a true story. I got to speak to her assistant. I thought it was a joke, but yeah.
Excellent.
I got to talk to somebody of royalty in the United Kingdom. So, yeah.
I did a trick like that with Frank Malatesta from Horseless Carriage when we used to come over quite a fair bit. Frank was one of these, a typical sort of New Yorker Italian, he's from New Jersey, but typical sort of like New Jersey Italian sort of guy. And Frank was like, nobody ever pulls the wool over my eyes. Nobody can ever fool me. I know everything that's going on. So when we got back to England, I said to my boss, I said, I'm going to have to ring Frank and pretend I'm I'm working for the Queen, and we've got these cars. And anyway, I came on the phone, put on my, because then I was a lot more sort of Queen's spoken English. So everybody used to love it even more, because now I'm sort of in Yorkshire for sort of like 20, 30 years. I've sort of got a bit of a Yorkshire accent. And I've rang up Frank and actually literally pulled the wool over his eyes. He thought he was booking these 4 Rolls Royces on for the Queen of England to be picked up from New York, shipped them over to the Queen's house, and he was going to transport them all, and he was doing all this for the Queen. And then I rang him back like 10 minutes later, and I started talking. I was like, "Hey Frank," he's like, "Hey little Amy, what are you doing?" I'm like, and I just put on this accent. He's like, "You son of a bitch!" They're all over my eyes. I'm like, "Yeah, we got it." He said, "Wait, here, boy, I'm going to tan your ass." I said, "Oh yeah, no problem, Frank. We'll see you." But I'll never forget that. And he actually gave me one of his trucks, a model of his truck, and a big picture. I've still here. I've never forgotten it. I still got it, and I still polished this truck. And it's one of the original handmade trucks that he gave me. And he's like, "I'm going to give that to you, boy, when you come over." He said, "Because that," he said, "nobody's ever done that to Frank Malatesta. You've just done something nobody's ever done." So I'm like, "Well, I'm glad I've done that nobody's ever done."
I love it. And in the words of my friend Rich, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. I loved it.
Love it. Brilliant.
Yep, definitely. Cool.
Tell you what has been brilliant is this.
Is
I've absolutely loved this tonight.
Yeah. Oh,
Thank you, Adam. Very much.
Thank you for giving up your time.
I don't know. I still got 2 hours to go.
Yep. Excellent. So,
although I'd like to get out here early and go happy hour and have a couple cocktails, but I gotta take care of the shot. Thank you both very, very much. United Kingdom, watch. It's going to be live with Zenware. I'm sure these two will probably, if I can figure out a way, if I can get this on my phone, Adam, we'll go a little bit live that weekend.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If I can say hi and kind of walk around so you and Rich can kind of see what's going on, I would love to do that.
Lovely. Yeah.
Let me know 100%. What I can do.
Yeah.
And definitely when it's the following week, let's do it.
Yeah.
Talk about what all went on and kind of bring up for next year, because hopefully we're going to know our sponsor for next year for the Diamond sponsorship. So yeah.
No, awesome.
SDC.
Yeah, brilliant. Can't wait.
Awesome. Really, really good.
So yeah, so thank you very much, Big D. It's been brilliant, and it's been absolutely excellent. I knew you'd love that one.
That's going to be my new word. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's
brilliant. My buddy Rich would say that's brilliant.
It's brilliant. Or as most people can say, "Oh, it's spiffing, sir." So yes, rather proper Queen's English is that.
I love it. I love it. Thank you both very, very much.
No,
I really enjoyed this, and you made it a lot of fun. So Adam, you made my day. Rich, we will meet again, brother. I promise.
We will do, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's Big D.
Thank you guys.
Detail Lex in Kentucky. Thank you very much.